This is Fernando Rover Jr. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me again. It's been good to be back.
And once again, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Just,
Thank you so much. 26, yes.
I just feel to be a little bit older.
It feels good. It feels accomplished. You know, you feel like you've made it through another year, and you have a lot. You accomplished a lot in your previous year, and you just want to keep accomplishing more in your next year. So it definitely feels optimistic.
Man. So, everything's been going pretty good for you from what I see. Once again, congratulations on the award.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How was that?
A shock. Like I literally found it like surfing through the web. I always do when I'm bored, and I just like, oh, that's a cool little word there. And then I thought, okay, well, let's just. I mean, I honestly didn't think I was gonna win at all because I mean, you look at the past winners and you're like, oh wow, they're like really famous. Oh, they're really accomplished. Oh, they're really accomplished. So that's never gonna be me. So I like submitted it on a whim, literally on a whim, and then I was at work. I remember it was like a couple days after Christmas. I was at work. And I kept getting notifications on my phone, and I was like, what is going on? Like, what's going on? And then I saw, congrats on your award. And I'm thinking it's like the junk mail that they send you. I'm like, oh, that's probably some spam, whatever. So I opened it, and it said, Dear Mr. Fernando, congratulations on your win of the Best Indie Book Award for Poetry. And I was like, wait.
Wow.
And I remember I called my coworker. His office is across from mine, and I was like, "Hey, can you like come here for a second and let me read this to you just to make sure it's legitimate and it's not a joke?" So I read it to him, and he was like, "No, that's pretty legit." And I remember just staring at the screen for like a good 30 minutes, like.
Like wow.
You know, it was crazy because I couldn't. So when they contacted me, I couldn't come out and say it because they were like, "Okay. We're telling you now, but we want you to wait a couple days until we do a joint press release." So I sat on it for like a good 2 days. Like nobody knew. My family, friends, nobody knew but me. And I was like just aching to tell somebody, but you couldn't because I had to obey the rules. And so they said, okay, you can announce it on the 29th of December. So of course, me not following the rules, I did it like I think I did because it was like 9 o'clock on the 28th. So I feel like, okay, the day's already over. Like no one's gonna they're not gonna take it away from me now. I mean it's already 10 o'clock. Plus by then they'd already did their own press release, and I've been seeing other writers post on their Twitters, on their Facebooks. I'm like, okay, well if they're doing it, then I'll do it too. And so I posted on it. Within a few, within the hour, like I got like so many congratulations and the great thing about the organization is that when you tag them in it, they share it with other indie organizations and other indie book organizations. So I mean, it's been really great. It's crazy because again, the book took like 3 years to do, and when you're creating stuff, it's not like, oh, I'm creating award-winning material. I mean, you hope it is, but that's not your intention going into the work. And so when it does get that type of praise and accolade, you're like, oh wow, that's amazing. And it really has leveled up the profile of the book a lot too. Like they share it on their site, and then they posted it on Goodreads, and so it kind of I knew it was important because one, it's a contest for indie authors. So indie authors don't always get the same profiles or the same platforms that mainstream authors do. So I knew that was a big deal. But I also knew that me being young, African American male from San Antonio, I knew that was important. So when they asked me for they asked me for a statement that they want to share on my profile, I made sure that I hit those points because I mean it's all about. I mean we always look for representation in everything that we do. We always look for someone who looks like us, who kind of tells our story and lives what we live every day. And so me being a black male, I knew that other African American males would be seeing me or would be seeing this book and like, oh wow, it's crazy because they almost weren't even going to put my picture actually too. I was
really?
Like, yeah, I sent them my bio and my picture, and then I went to go check on it, and it was just my bio. There was no picture of me, and I was like, I texted them. I was like, do you mind if you post a picture of me, because I feel like they have to know what I look like. You know what I mean? It's important that you put a face to a name, and so I guarantee you they probably didn't think I was black because of the name Fernando. But still, the point is that needs to be out there for people to see, and sure enough, when they posted the picture, I got Instagram likes and follows from other black writers who had seen it through again through different feeds and things like that. So yeah, it's really great. I got a nice trophy that's shining on my shelf, house and everything. Has my name on it and everything too. So
Nice, very cool.
yeah.
So let's discuss the event you have coming up with this Saturday.
Yes, so I have a second book signing coming up this Saturday, February 29th. So my first book signing was really kind of like an introduction to like me and kind of, you know, talking about like, you know, how the book came to be and so on and so forth. But now with this award now, and I kind of have gotten a lot of, again, my profile has been elevated over the last few months. So now this book signing is kind of more, it's more methodical in a way that I'm going to talk about some really important subjects. So like, for example, it's Black History Month. So, you know, I'm going to read my Black History poems. You know, it's also going to be Women's History Month in March, and so I'm going to read some of those too. So really this book signing is going to be very much, not just a signing where you can get a book signed and you can, you know, purchase a book, but also it's an experience. You know, again, I'm one of those weird people that I had the idea of, I want to do a art show, a book signing, and a poetry reading in 2 hours, and then just do that. And I remember my friends I told it to, my parents I told it to, and then of course people that like the events people, they were like, okay, we've never done it before, but we can work with that. So, and really, it's kind of, I mean, the reason why I do it like that is because those 3 things interest me. Like I like art, I like, you know, photography, and the book has photographs in them, and so I think that I think it's more like you have to experience it with more than just the words. You know, there's the photographs, and then there's like, you know, the vibe that it kind of gets you in. And so that's kind of how my book signings are designed. Like there's totally different than what most people do. Most people just have like a couple of snacks, a couple of drinks here, and then they just sit and they read, and then you ask them questions, and that's part of it. But I think too, there's a whole vibe that comes along with it, especially when there's very important themes like what Labyrinth has. So yeah, it'll be Saturday, February 29th. It'll be at the Event Center at 329 Oranges Avenue, 78210. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You're going to be seeing my flyer posted all over there.
And what time does it start?
At 4.
At 4. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Man, you deserve all the accolades that you're getting, and also your articles in the San Antonio Observer, as I always tell you, excellent work.
Can you believe I'm celebrating a year since I've been
It's
there?
been that long.
Wow.
It's been a year, and I remember my editor she sent me a birthday message. She's like, "You're one of the greatest writers I know. Don't ever use it. Don't ever lose it." I'm like, okay, I'll take it. I mean, you know, I feel like, and it's true. I mean, I look back at the articles that I've done over just the course of a year, and just I think about like how good they were, but also how thought-provoking they were. I mean, I don't think, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't go into that thinking that was gonna happen. It just happened, honestly. I think maybe I just had it the whole time, but now it's just coming to fruition. So.
Wow. So once again, this Saturday over at the Event Center on Aransas.
Yes.
All right. If you want more information, just go to my Facebook page, Urban Suite SA, to get more information, or just follow Fernando on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of Black History Month, let's go ahead and get into this track from the Self-Centered EP, music from Camoy, aka Superstition. This is Black Enough.
Yes.
Keep it locked. This is the Urban Suite KSYM 90.1. 90.1 FM.